grab by Egypt's president sparking furious protests across the country, but President Morsi is now apparently making some partial concessions to Egypt's top judges to help defuse the crisis. The ground in the Mideast is shifting by the day, and Israel is taking no chances despite its ceasefire with Hamas. The country is now testing a new Iron Dome-like missile defense system. It's called David's Sling. It will stop mid-range rockets. Is it preparing for a new wave of turmoil here? For insight, we turn to Chris Harmer, naval analyst with the Institute for War. Chris, welcome back to the show. I want to jump right in. Let me ask you about what's going on in Egypt. Who do you think Mohamed Morsi really is? I mean, when we left for Thanksgiving break last week, he had, stepped in and helped settle this problem and brought about the ceasefire. And even the Israelis said maybe he's more moderate than we thought. And then all of a sudden, he makes this huge power grab in his own country, saying that his rule is above law, basically. Who do you think he really is?
Melissa, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, that's the million-dollar question right now. Who is Mohamed Morsi and what is it that he wants? Last week, it looked like he was committed to peace. It looked like he was committed to the process of at least normalization in the short term of relations between Israel and Gaza. And this latest power grab just caught a lot of people, including myself, by surprise. It's important to keep in mind that there's three power centers in Egypt. First, there's the civilian elected leadership, including President Morsi and the parliament. Second, there's the judiciary. And third, there's the military. And what President Morsi attempted to do was take away a good deal of the judiciary's authority and take it to himself. And that's been met by immediate and stiff resistance from the judiciary and apparently from a good deal of the Egyptian population as well. Yeah,
I mean, and it seems like his biggest problem is probably economic. I mean, when you look at what has happened to this country and probably what inspired the eruption in the first place that brought him to power. They're the biggest wheat importer in the world. I mean, they are ultra sensitive to food price swings as a result. Tourism in a free fall, obviously. I mean, people used to go see the pyramids. This was a big source of income. That is gone. Do you think that, economics are going to be the thing that come along and undo him?
Well, as you're fond of saying, Melissa, it's all about the money. And you get right down to it. Egypt's had a poor economy for quite some time, and unfortunately, it's degrading. We've seen tourism plummet in Egypt, and there's no hope of that coming back anytime soon. We don't see any real industrial activity in Egypt. We see a very inefficient agricultural sector. There's a lot of things that are wrong with the Egyptian economy, and unfortunately, President Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood are focused on an agenda of redistribution of wealth, and a welfare state, and that's just not a prescription for economic success. So in the short term, I think he's trying to shore up his power by taking some power back from the judiciary, and then he's going to try to appeal to the poorest Egyptians by redistributing what's there.
He better do that quick. I don't want to run out of time without asking you about David's Sling, because a lot was made of the Iron Dome. And mainly, one of the problems is how expensive it is, that the net cost to Israelis to shoot down one rocket is somewhere between $50,000 and $150,000. At the same time, Hamas is being supplied with rockets that are, a few $1,000s. So you can see if this was just a battle of money, that Israel would lose pretty quickly. Is David's Sling any cheaper or more effective, or what do you think?
Well, first off, Iron Dome performed fantastic during the short war with Gaza and Israel. And the follow-on to that is Israel knows it's got to drive its cost per projectile down. There's no real easy way to talk this other than saying Iron Dome is fairly expensive for what it does. The Israelis are looking to develop the David Sling system to both advance their technological advantage as well as decrease their cost per projectile fired. And if they can do that, they can drive a little closer towards parity in terms of the economic struggle between them and Iran.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how it works differently from the Iron Dome? I mean, I know it's pretty new, so I hate to put you on the spot like that.
No, it's no problem at all. Iron Dome is basically a smaller version of the Patriot missile system that the U.S. has had in production for about 25 years. It shoots down smaller projectiles than the Patriot missile system is designed to shoot down, but it shoots down ballistic projectiles, either ballistic missiles or ballistic rockets. What David Sling is designed to do is to shoot down everything that Iron Dome can shoot down, and in addition to that, it will shoot down cruise missiles, which fly at a much lower altitude and are more difficult to both detect and target.
Chris Harmer, thank you so much. So much good information there. We really